How's it going, boys? Welcome back to the channel. We are here with episode 22 of our NHL 24 Winnipeg Jets franchise mode. And if you missed out on the last one, go back right now and watch it because we are the 2028 Stanley Cup champions, and the road to get there was quite arduous indeed. We beat out the Dallas Stars in 7 games. Then we went 7 against Colorado and managed to squeak that one out. And then we went 7 against a crazy Calgary Flames team and managed to beat that one out. And then in the finals, we had a 5-game series with the New York Islanders where we prevailed. 2 years ago, we lost in 5 games to the to the New York Rangers, but this year we win in 5 games. So you absolutely love to see it if you are a Winnipeg Jets fan. And let me show you the team that was able to do it, because we had the Conn Smythe winner, Cole Perfetti. You know, he's still only 86 overall, despite winning the Conn Smythe. He doesn't have any X factors. He's a sniper with only 4-star shooting, all this stuff, right? But he won the Conn Smythe, and that's all that matters for us. Next up was Nikolai Ehlers. He is integral in every single playoff run. He had 21 in this run here, but last time we went he only had 13 in that one, but then 18 the year before that, 23 last year. So he's usually a pretty good playoff performer. In our first year when we got bounced by Chicago, he had 8 points in 6 games. He's usually a pretty good playoff performer. The year we went to the Cup, not as much, but we probably had a bit more depth that year with Boone Jenner, and I can't really think who else. Kyle Connor, he did sit out for a game, got a bit injured there, but he had 20 points in 25 games. I can't really complain with that. He was a +5 as well, helping that top line. Then next up was Trevor Moore with 20 in 26. A trade deadline acquisition, was now dropped to an 85 overall despite winning the Stanley Cup with us. But we have a couple of things we have to talk about with Trevor Moore over the offseason, so we'll get to him a bit later. Gabriel Velarde is the guy who really stepped up when Mark Scheifele went down, really due to age, not really performance, but when Mark Scheifele kind of dropped in overall, we put Gabriel Velarde on that second line, Cole Perfetti on the first, and Gabriel Velarde really stepped up, getting 18 and 26. That is beautiful. Then Brock Besser with 18 and 26 as well. He's on a great contract, 4.7 for the next 1 year after this. Lovely contract for Brock Besser, and he played well as well. Then Josh Morrissey on that first pairing defensively, 18 points in 26 games, can't complain. Mark Scheifele, it's gonna be a tough contract to work around, I'll tell you guys that. But he had scored 26 points. He scored 14 points in 26 games. He was a -3, but I think that's because towards the end, okay, he's jumped back up to an 86 overall after winning the Cup, but don't be fooled by this, guys. He's probably going to be around an 83, 82 overall at the start of next season, just like he was through the midway point of that playoff run. Chaz Lucius, this is somebody that we're going to need to see growth out of, and we actually do see some. He's now an 84 overall sniper with 5-star shooting, 4.5-star puck skills. He's got 99 discipline. How many penalties does this guy usually take? I mean, he had 26 penalty minutes last year, but then 6, 6, 0. Yeah, so he doesn't take too many penalties. Maybe a Lady Bing in his future, but he was good for the team as well. 6 goals, 8 assists for 14 points +2. So he will probably be on our second line next year, barring something crazy happening over the offseason. Then Brad Lambert, always just in there for some two-way depth. He grew to an 82 overall as well, 4.5-star shooting, only 3-star defense as a two-way forward, but he does have that 85 face-off rating. That is great, and he's got 4-star skating, 4-star physical, so he really gets in there, throws the body, makes some good defensive plays every once in a while, and all that jazz. Then Zach Werenski, I couldn't really find a way to get him going. We do have a bit of a conversation to have with Zach Werenski over the offseason as well. His contract is expiring, but 10 points, 26 games played, can't complain. He was at -6, which is a bit rough, but playing with Jacob Bernard-Docker, he was probably like a +4 or 5 or so. Then Logan O'Connor, a free agency acquisition. He's on for one more year at 1.4 mil. He's listed as a depth forward. He'll probably just play some fourth line time for us once again, but his speed is going down, which I don't like to see, but everything else is pretty base. Roman Yossi now, 87 overall. This was kind of a Cinderella run for Roman Yossi. After being with Nashville his entire career, he hadn't been in the playoffs since 2021, 2022. So we really rescued him from a pit of despair down there and allowed him to come win a Stanley Cup with us, which was very nice indeed. Next up, Jonas Brodin, who has been a great addition since year number one. We picked this guy up in the trade deadline at year number one. He goes plus 18 in the playoffs, playing alongside of Josh Morrissey. Those two guys have been killing it. He's losing some X factors. His overall's dropping a little bit, but still, this man has been great for us. Ville Heinola, 5 points in 23 games, plus one. Didn't really do too much, but he didn't hurt us out there, so that's really all I asked. He's just a third pairing defenseman for us. And then Phil Dano was pretty disappointing, I'm not going to lie. For an 83 overall, he's here for another year at 2.375 mil. Maybe somebody we look to move if we don't have the cap space for other people. But yeah, kind of disappointing in Phil Dano. Logan Hutsko here, 3 points in 4 plus 4. He was in 17 games. He was kind of just a depth person that we threw in there. Every once in a while. Jacob Bernard Docker, 25 games played. He was a -2, 1 point, just kind of hanging out there. And then Dmitry Kuzmin, 4 games played, -5, listed as a depth forward in there for injuries and such. Goaltending performances now. I'm not going to lie, boys. In the first round, I was dogging on this guy a lot. We threw in Jet Greaves for a couple of games who looked horrendous. But Connor Hellebuck, at 35 years of age, 84 overall, no more X Factors, still on this contract for another 3 years. He goes 13-8-1 with a shutout and a .926 save percentage, 2.45 goals against average. So usually Hellebuck, he's great all the time in the playoffs for us. Let's look at his stats statistically, actually, just to make sure that I'm not lying to you guys right here. But let's see. Yeah, statistically, he's pretty good for us going back to year number one. Year 1 and 2 were a bit rough, but these past 2 years, he has been nothing but lights out for us. He goes 13-8-1 this year, giving us a shutout, a .926 save percentage, and 2.45 goals against average. So the best playoff run he's had since 2021-22, where he really turned it on for the Jets as well. So these are real life numbers here that Hellebuck is giving us. So as long as he's giving us those kind of numbers in the playoffs, I'm more than happy to pay him $8.5 million. And the other thing is, part of this challenge was we were going to have to stick with the Hellebuck and Scheifele contracts regardless. So there you go, Hellebuck, great playoff run. And then Jet Greaves, I don't like that he was unable to perform in the playoffs for us, but he's on a great contract, only $800K for the next 2 years. So we picked him up at the trade deadline last year. Even this year, he played great for us. 916, 917, 2.73. But in the playoffs, he just crumbled for us this year. I mean, last year he was okay, but this year just couldn't really get anything done for us. But either way, we are the Stanley Cup champions. We don't have too much to complain about. And let's get to the comments and see what everybody was saying, how we were partying out there. And we'll start it off with Doug, who says, "Let's go. Just got caught up. What a finish. Jets win the cup. Jets win the cup." Yes, we do, Doug. Yes, we do indeed. Been busy, got behind, but it was worth the wait. Wish I could have added some suggestions, but hats off to the other AGMs. I can't wait to see what the next season looks like. Pumped for the rest of the series. As always, well done. Thank you very much for your kind words, Doug. I'm glad that you're all caught up. Now you can start throwing in your suggestions if you so choose. And the AGM booth is going to welcome you with open arms as always. And anybody watching who does not often give their opinions, you guys can throw them down there as well. And everybody is welcome to do that. We will move on to Fresh Bread, a veteran AGM in our midst, if you will, who says, "Heck yeah, about time. Congrats to you as GM of the Winnipeg Cup. Now enjoy this beautiful victory." You too, Fresh. Obviously Fresh allowing us to, or giving us the suggestion to pick up JBD, who had a crazy regular season run. Got to give him his flowers for that suggestion. Moving on now let's go to Alexander, who another veteran AGM amongst us, who says, OMG, can't say anymore to prevent any spoilers, but wow, what a season indeed. What a season it was. Alexander says, despite the result, everyone, GM included, did an amazing job in this one and deserves a huge round of applause. Well done. Now let's look towards the offseason. We just won the cup, but remember, guys, we're still running a team here. We still got to try to be competitive for next year. Maybe go repeat if we are possible. Alexander says not much needs to change. We can wait on Morrissey since he's still asking for the moon. He's asking for about $14 million in the next 3 years. Then he says extend Werenski for 3 to 4 years since he's still reasonably paid on a 7.75 or $8 million contract. And I kind of agree with that. To extend Yossi, but only for a year if reasonable money, similar to Brody, since he's on the verge of a steep decline. Otherwise, trade him to fit Dahl 100%. I think that we probably will be trading Morrissey in the draft or, whatever, just to get some picks or whatever it is. We could roll with the stacked left side of Morrissey, Werenski, Yossi, and Dahl into the regular season, just like we did it in the playoffs. Mix and match the right-handed partners as you see fit. I think we will go with the fitting Dahl into the lineup instead of having Morrissey, Werenski, and Yossi. We will probably just have Morrissey, Werenski, Brodin, and then Dahl will be the third line left-handed defenseman. Thank you for the amazing episode and great consistency. Yeah, I'm trying to be more consistent. We're posting on Tuesdays and Thursdays and Saturdays now instead of just the kind of once a week, kind of whenever I feel like it type video that we had while I was in school. Now that summer's in, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, be here for some content. It's always a delight, but this series has been an absolute dandy. Your stunned commentary on Toffoli's goatee winner last season. Oh my gosh, I remember that like it was yesterday. And some of those in this one are simply legendary. Well, I'm not sure about the legendary tag, but thank you very much for your kind words there, Alexander. Then he gives us a little bit of a depth chart possibility where we have Connor Perfetti and more. Maybe we have more. Ehlers, Velarde / Lucic, and then Besser. And then Scheifele, maybe Melvin Barker comes up. We've been thinking about him with Lambert and Velarde or Lucius perhaps on the right-hand side. And then maybe one of those two guys, Scheifele or Barker, on the fourth line with Danault and O'Connor. And then on defense, we have Morrissey, Brodin, Werenski, Jacob Bernard-Docker, and then Dahl and Ville Heinola with our two goaltenders in there as well. So some nice pro level scouting there from Alexander about our depth, about who we can add to this team, who we can keep, who we can maybe give contracts to and not. And now let's go to some of Fresh's comments, a little bit more of the amateur scouting side, where he was down there in the minors watching these guys play, and he's cooked up a pretty comprehensive list of players we can target. So let me go down here and find these guys, and we can look at them individually. So at number 42, we have Stefan Kreitzer. Kreitzer is a top 4 medium right-handed defenseman at listed at 42 here. He's got 3 years away. He's balanced pinch perhaps. Kind of baseline everywhere is going to be a couple of years away, but that could definitely be a big pickup for us. Then we go down to the medium elite type guys, the goalies here. So we have Gavin Spooner, who is 5 years away, medium elite, 6'3". He's 19 though, but Gavin Spooner is definitely a good option. Will be a medium elite type player. And then at 62, we have another medium elite defensive defenseman, Aiden Nolan, left, or he can also play the right side. He's 18 years old. I kind of like Aiden Nolan a little bit more than Gavin Spooner, just because guys like Gavin Spooner, we could also go with like Matteo Heicht, who is the same age but 1 year less. He's also German. The German in goal there, we could go with him. And then after that, any medium elites really after 62. So I've gone ahead and pinned some of these guys, like these other defensemen, Cale Crabb, Brady DeMarchi, the Dane, the Swede Jesper Lindstrom, another. Oh, I could get a Lindstrom in the system. Wouldn't that be insane? And then some low elites as well. At 49, I'm not sure if we're going to be able to get him because of trade value, but he's there. And then a two-way defender, perhaps a right-handed defenseman at 236th is there as well. So those are the kind of guys that I've pinned. And we obviously thank Fresh, as always, for his incredible input into the team and everybody else who decides to comment as well. So, going into the draft, what is going to happen? Because we have to figure out who we're going to re-sign and who we are not going to re-sign. So if we look at all expiring, Josh Morrissey, we definitely want our captain to come back for us. He was the first person to ever hoist Lord Stanley in a Winnipeg Jets jersey. So we definitely want him to come back. And he's a great player at 91 overall. He can still play real good hockey for another 3 years, another 2 years maybe. And then Zach Werenski, same kind of thing. I would love to get Zach Werenski back on like a 3-year deal at, what could this be at 85%? Yeah, I mean, if we could get Zach Werenski on a 3-year deal at like 7.75 mil, that would be a pretty good steal in my opinion. He's playing second line time. He's going to be playing with Jacob Bernard-Docker, who's not going to cost too much. We would still have but we'd only really have 11 million to spend on JBD, but we're going to free up some other money elsewhere, which I will show you guys in just a second. So, yeah, I think a guy like Zach Werenski could be real instrumental on this roster. Roman Josi is not going to be re-signed here. He's asking for way too much, and also he's 38. He wants to go get paid somewhere else. More than happy to let him get paid. Have a good rest of your career, Jonas Brody, Roman Josi. Thank you very much for the good times. GBD is in here. He's going to be getting paid a little bit, and then Mats Dahl definitely going to be on the roster. So we have kind of 3 guys that we really have to sign in Josh Morrissey, Zach Werenski, Jacob Bernard-Docker, and then Mats Dahl will just get his entry-level deal. Everybody else on 2-way deals or who are RFAs can get qualified and things like that. So I'm not too worried about it. But Zach Werenski, I do want to see if he will sign the extension right now. Let's go 3 years with him for $7.75 million and see what he says. That's pretty much exactly 85%. So let's give him a couple more. Okay, $7.8 million for 3 years. See what he says to an extension here. Just to say we want to get in early on you, Zach Werenski. We're not going to make you wait until the offseason to get an offer from us at the very least. And if you decide to reject, that's okay. We still have all of the offseason to go ahead and do that. But for Josh Morrissey, I cannot pay $14 million for a defenseman in Josh Morrissey. Although he's an amazing defenseman, can't pay that much money. Now, if we don't look at expiring, but we look at the main roster, there are a couple of guys on contracts. Actually, there's one guy in particular on a contract next year that we cannot afford. He dropped to an 85 overall. He was a great pickup for us in the regular season. 14 points in 22 games. Good second line type guy. -6 though, but only 4 penalty minutes. Great guy on the roster. He was integral to the playoff run as well, having a bunch of goals and assists for us. But he simply has too much of a cap hit. We don't have a very big, relationship with him either, and he's going to be making $8.175 million for the next year, right? So if we look at a guy like Josh Morrissey, who we have to sign, who is making who will want to be making upwards of $10 million, that's going to free up $8 million of extension. We'd be up to just around $26 million minus the $8 million that we spent on Zach Werenski. So we're up around what we still have $18 million of cap to spend on Josh Morrissey, on Jacob Bernard-Docker, and then we're going to be able to sign everybody if we let go of Trevor Moore. So that's exactly what we're going to do. But what are we going to let him go for? Well, that's a good question, boys. And I don't have the answer right in front of me because I want to see what's available at the draft. We picked up Moore at the trade deadline, but I want to see if maybe we can flip him for a pick around, obviously, if we can move up to 3 to get Cesar Grenier, a medium elite 1 year away defenseman who's right-handed. This would be a huge pickup for us, or even any of these other guys, really. A power forward would be massive. We barely have any power forwards in the system. He's 17, he's NHL ready as well. So if we could move up, if any of these teams are willing to trade, I will try to move up to pick up one of them. And also I have my eyes on this guy, Luke Aston, 3 years away, but medium elite, 6'2", 18 years old. He could be a great center. So if any of those guys are willing to move their picks, I would definitely be willing to entertain it for Trevor Moore. and see what they say to that. I know you usually don't do stuff like that, but when you have a player like Trevor Moore, there's no reason not to see if you can move up in the draft. I think it's totally reasonable. So if the opportunity presents itself, I'm definitely going to be jumping on it and seeing what we can get for Trevor Moore. And then other than that, there's really nothing interesting until Magnus Bergfors, except for of course Stefan Kreitzer, because he is that right-handed defenseman that we could use. So that is the plan going into the draft here, boys. And now it's time to all cross our fingers and see if we can trade Trevor Moore for any of these picks. I don't remember anybody moving up like crazy, so it's probably not going to happen. Nothing for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so the top 5 are not in. What about 9? No, 9 is not in either. The Vegas Golden Knights have that. So the first pick available is 16. All right, so that's probably... Maybe we could trade for 16, but at least I don't have to rush through it and really try to make a deal for one of these guys up here. So let's look around 16, see who's here. We won't be able to get Luke Aston with 9 for sure. Let's start looking around, where, like around 14, yeah, 13, 14. So we could go with the two forward Rick Bales, 18 years old, 3 years away, medium top 6, yeah, sure. Or we could go with the power forward in Frederick Silverberg. Power forwards always simulate a bit better. They always simulate kind of like snipers. So I would be willing to look at Frederick Silverberg perhaps. We're giving away Trevor Moore, and as much as I don't want to give him away for just a, medium top 6 type player who probably will grow to like 83, maybe 82, and then kind of be nothing. A power forward can be good with their goal scoring, put them on the power play. They can maybe get like 30, 40 goals in the NHL. So that's something that I'm not as angry about shipping Trevor Moore away for, but it is definitely an investment into the future here. There's a couple of defensive defensemen who seem to not grow as well in my experience. Then a two-way forward, another defensive defenseman. There's a lot of defensive defensemen in this draft, I notice. So really the only guy who interests me is the power forward exactly at 16. Is this him? Wait a second. No, this wasn't him. It was this guy here at 14. Yeah, 14. Frederick Silverberg. But there's no telling if he's going to be there at 16. Our scouts have him listed at number 11. He's at 14 here. So this actually could be a decent move up for us. But again, I'm not sure if he's going to be there at 14. But what could we get for Trevor Moore? Maybe there's a great deal just kind of on the open block that we can take a look at and see if anybody's willing to part ways with anything for a Trevor Moore or something like that. He doesn't have crazy value, so I'm not sure if a first or if it's going to be possible. There's a prospect in a third, another prospect in a third, another prospect in a third. All right, so or the 27th overall pick, okay, or Washington's 3rd and 4th and Nick Paton. We could look at 27 if there's anybody around 27 that we want to get. Or maybe with the 27th overall pick. Ooh, hang on a second. Maybe with the 27th overall pick, we can pick up the German defenseman that we want to get, who is at 42. Maybe we could even trade down for some more picks in the second round. We could get Stefan Kreitzer and maybe like somebody around like maybe this guy here around 49. Okay, maybe that's something that we could look at. Magnus Bergfors and Stefan Kreitzer, with the 27th pick, if we can trade down. And then with our own second round pick, we can pick up, either Gavin Spooner. Okay, the first overall pick is a playmaker, 83 overall playmaker. 4-star skating, 4-star puck skills, 3.5-star shooting, 3-star physical. Yeah, a 6-foot guy. He's a center who can actually play the center as well, which is nice to see. Great puck skills. So yeah, he's going to be a good pickup for the San Jose Sharks. And look at how good the West is getting here in this draft. They have first overall pick goes to San Jose. Second overall pick, of course, goes to Chicago. Third overall pick to Arizona. Fourth to LA. Fifth to Nashville. The West is just going to get harder and harder these next couple of years here. And now I've lost my train of thought. I know I was talking about Stefan Kreitzer, all these guys. So with Trevor Moore, we can trade for the 27th pick from Tampa. Then maybe we can flip that 27th pick for a pick, hopefully in the late 30s. But I'm probably not going to be able to get much more than that. So I'm going to have to decide between Stefan Kreitzer here at 3 years away, medium top 4, who Fresh asked about, and then also Magnus Bergfors, who's 6'5". Oh my gosh, he's a monster. 6'5", 18 years old. How old was Stefan Kreitzer? I think he was also 18, was he? Yeah, he was 18. He's a right-handed defenseman as well. We don't have many right-handed defensemen, but this guy's a low elite. But do low elites really grow that much more? They're both 3 years away, so maybe his overall's a bit less. 6'5", 208. In an A-plus league, he had 2 goals, 2 assists, 34 penalty minutes. Can I see his shots? He had 28 shots, about a shot a game. It's not crazy, but he's only playing 11 minutes time on ice per night, which is about where he would be playing with us to start. Kreitzer, on the other hand, playing third pairing for us. Again, that's probably where he would start. He had 3 points in 30 games. He doesn't shoot the puck barely at all. He was a +7 in a B league, but he had less points. But he's a defenseman, right? So I guess it's tough to say. It's really, really tough to say. Magnus Bergfors, just because he's 6'5", man, I'd want to try to take a look at him. But Fresh did put in Kreitzer instead, so it's always tough to battle between what the AGMs think, what's possible for the trade value. But why don't we first see if we can get any more out of the Tampa trade here? Let me go ahead and try to work this Tampa trade a little bit. And with the second pick in the NHL draft, Chicago selects left winger Gary McCartney, a two-way forward with a make it snappy X factor. You know, this guy, he's probably going to play in the AHL for a season. Maybe he'll play in the NHL if they really don't have much depth, but he'll probably have one more season in the AHL before jumping up to the NHL. Not a horrible pick, just two-way forwards are just kind of baseline everywhere. He's got 3.5-star skating, 3-star defense, 3-star puck skills, kind of just 3 stars everywhere. So nothing to be too scared about right now, but in the future, definitely he could grow. Okay, so I wonder if they do a first and a seventh here. The reason why I want a seventh is because there is that low elite guy who's listed at like 236 or something like that. So picking up Tampa's seventh would actually be kind of nice for us. Let's see what they say to this. They'll probably reject it and laugh at me. Rejected. You've done all right meeting and block mates, but the value isn't sufficient at all. But without the seventh, you guys are cheering through the streets, huh? So I don't want to give them any draft picks, but do they have any skaters matching the block that? Maybe like we can throw Roman Josi at them, although that sounds insane, right? But maybe a guy like him or Logan Hutsko, maybe we can just pick up another depth guy in free agency for the same type of deal, right? So if we get Logan Hutsko, but he want to cup with us, right? We want to kind of try to stay loyal to our boys. But 55 points. He's been here for 2 years. He's been in the system for 3. 2 years, he had 20 points, 16 points, kind of a -5 in his total time with us. He just won a cup, but you always got to shake it up a little bit after a cup win, right? You can't just stay the exact same. Maybe Stefan Lundmark instead. This is a guy who Winnipeg drafted in the second round, but he never really grew to anything. He could be a depth kind of defenseman, but honestly, he's not great. His defense isn't even that good either. As a two-way defender, his defense is not fantastic. So what about, will you take Stefan Lundmark for a seventh, basically, and then Trevor Moore for the first? I'd be definitely willing to do this if they are. So let's see what they say to it. Rejected. Not sufficient at all. Okay, so the seventh, I guess, is not going to get done. I guess I can trade somebody else for the seventh. So Trevor Moore for the first round pick. What do you say, Tampa? Accepted. I'm happy to accept this proposal. I consider it a done deal. I think it's a fair trade for both sides. We get rid of Trevor Moore's salary. Tampa takes him on. They get more forward depth down there with guys like Kucherov, Stamkos, those kind of guys, if they're still in the system. I actually didn't check that, but either way, let's simulate through this pick and see who Arizona picks up. Okay, so that defensive defenseman, the right-handed defensive defenseman, is only 75 overall, and his defense is not fantastic either. He's also slow as a bus, considering he's 6'4". That's kind of normal. So yeah, this guy's going to take another year to get ready for the NHL, maybe 2 years if he doesn't grow, because defensive defenseman, again, tough to grow defensive defenseman, I find, in the draft. So, or, sorry, in this game. So, definitely guys that you want to watch out for here. And now, let's see if Ottawa wants to trade their 38th selection for a first round pick in pick number 27. Why don't you want the first? Doesn't make any sense. A first, and do you have another? No, you don't have another, huh? Can I get a seventh from you? Maybe a second next year. 2 seconds for a first. That sounds crazy. That kind of does, huh? But a seventh this year, and a seventh next, and a sixth and a seventh next year. Try to recoup some draft picks here because we barely have any. They're probably not going to do this, but I just want to see if it'll go through. What do you say, Ottawa? I'd be definitely down to do this if you are rejected. Aren't where you need to be. So 2 seconds, or 2 sevenths then after. Accepted. Okay. Wow, I didn't think that was going to go through. I mean, I know that the AI is usually incredibly stingy with that. So we have now pick what pick? We have pick 38, because there's really nothing in the first round that I'm that excited about, really, where we can pick up Stefan Kreitzer. That is a big move up for us. We get rid of Trevor Moore for the 27th pick. We then trade the 27th pick essentially for the 38th pick and a 2/7, which I'm pretty happy about, actually, because we're going to pick up a low elite player with our 7th. So that's actually pretty big. This guy, Sniper, 3 years away, A+ league. He had 3 goals, 3 assists. He has A shooting. This is kind of interesting, actually, but we're not going to go for him. And he's a gem. We're not going to go for him, though. He'd probably be gone anyways by the time we make our selection. We want the German Stefan Kreitzer because we need a right-handed defenseman in the system. Medium top 4 type guy, B- shooting, C puck skill, C senses, stuff like that. Similar to Matthias Ekholm, which I like, big body, 6'2" as well. He can definitely hold his own in the playoffs, which is what we are going to be looking for. Medium top 4 defenseman. Hopefully that can grow. Sometimes I feel like the medium top 4 defense, medium top 6 forwards, I feel like sometimes they grow better than the low elite guys anyways, to be honest. I don't know why. Maybe that's just placebo, but I kind of feel like that happens sometimes. Let's get through a couple of picks here. The 4th selection goes to the LA Kings, a center playmaker, 79 overall with 2 X factors. He's got third eye and skilled up. He looks pretty good as well, but again, none of these guys really jumping out in any categories. These guys are all kind of normal prospects. Sometimes you see, you're like, watch, this guy's gonna have 5-star shooting and like 2.5-star pucks or head senses. Watch this, ready? Okay, 4-star shooting and 3-star puck skills. Okay, but like his shooting is incredible compared to his defense. Look at 2.5-star defense, 4-star shooting. Because he's a power forward, they tend to shoot a lot more. In a C- league, he had 42 goals, 52 assists for 94 points in 67 games. Yeah, this guy shoots the puck like crazy. Look at this. He had like 4 shots a game almost. 36 power play points. Yeah, this guy does it all for them. He does it all. He took 21 faceoffs and he lost every single one of them. At 75 faceoffs too. It's not even that bad. All right, so let's get through the first round. After we see the top 5 guys, let's get through the first round here. We don't really have any other moves to make. I do have to trade Roman Josi perhaps at one point, but let's see anybody crazy who goes. So Ottawa gets, oh no, hang on. Columbus gets a high top 6 defenseman. Yikes. That is tough. Defensive defenseman as well. He's not going to grow too much. Ottawa gets a grinder, 73 overall. Then Tarky goes to Philadelphia, a playmaker. A medium elite. Oh, wow. So, no, yeah, we knew that. Luke Aston, medium elite center, 2-way forward. Yeah, he's fine. He's 63 overall. It's going to take a while to get better. Any like 70 overall type guys, I'll just scroll through so you guys can see where your favorite teams got. This is a horrible pick from Buffalo, of course. Grinder. Oh my gosh, 59 overall, high top 9. That's a horrible pick. That is, I mean, I bet pretty much everybody in the second round is going to be better than that. But yeah, pretty much low 60s kind of guys, and then medium top. Wow, a lot of medium top 9, medium top 60s. And as always, the second round will be much better than the start of the second round will be much better than the end of the first round, of course. So let's simulate our pick now. Yeah, see, look at this. Medium top 4 defenseman, medium top 6 forward, medium top 6 forward, medium top 4 defenseman, medium top 6 forward. And then the last couple of people in round 1 who could have went to, these teams could have used some medium top 6 forwards and medium top 6 or medium top 4 defensemen. Instead, they get medium top 6 defensemen, medium top 9 forwards. It's just comedy at this point. The last, like, how many picks? The last 10 picks are all medium top 9 forwards or medium top 6 defensemen in the first round, and then the first 6 or so picks are going to be all medium top 4 defensemen or medium top 6 forwards. So much better overall despite being later in the draft. You love to see it, EA. Keep making this game make as much sense as it does, boys. I love to see it. All right, so we could go with Stefan Kreitzer. We could also go with Tyler Tyrell. I mean, there's a lot of medium top 6 type guys down here. Magnus Bergfors, guy that I'm kind of interested in. But as always, boys, this is a video, or this is a series where we definitely take your guys' thoughts into consideration much more than as much as possible. So Stefan Kreitzer, the German from Kölner Haie. Oh my God, I butchered that so hard, huh? Okay. With the let's get up to the podium there, boys. First off, we walk up to the podium. First off, I want to say thank you to all of our people back home in Winnipeg who are cheering us on as we won the Stanley Cup this year. It was an incredible run. We are very happy to have everybody across the world cheering for Winnipeg. Thank you guys so much. Now, with the 38th overall selection in the 2028 NHL Draft, the Winnipeg Jets are proud to select from Kolner High of the Dell League, Stefan Kreitzer. Welcome to the Winnipeg Jets organization, my friend. You are 62 overall, two-way defender, but he's right-handed, and that matters a heck of a lot more than some people put weight on it. So, Stefan Kreitzer, welcome to the organization. Our next pick is 64, so we do have to trade up a couple of spots here, I think. But I'm very happy to have Stefan Kreitzer in the system here. Around 64 is our next pick, so we can go for... Where are these guys? So I think we're going to try to get Aiden Nolan here instead of Gavin Spooner. I know Fresh said Gavin Spooner, but I think this is fair. You guys get one pick, I get one pick, right? So Aiden Nolan, I think I want a defenseman a bit more than a goalie, just because goalies are everywhere. I guess in this draft not so much, but usually there's a bunch of goalie prospects here. This time there's only 2 medium elite goalie prospects. We also have a medium elite goalie in the system. So I'm going to go with Aiden Nolan. We're going to pick up a bunch of defensemen, though, so maybe I shouldn't. Yeah, actually, because they're all 5 years away, right? 5 years, 5 years, 5 years, 5... Yeah, they're all 5 years away. So what's the difference between the Dane Aiden Nolan at 62 and the Swede Jesper Lindstrom at... Okay, their age. Jesper Lindstrom is 20. Aiden Nolan's 18. So, but then this guy, 96, is 17, and they're the same years away. Granted, we don't actually know if he's a defenseman. So, but again, we don't need a defenseman to be there either. So, actually, this is not Danish either. This is Polish, right? That's because this is the Dane flag. This is the Denmark flag. Brody Demarki. This guy, Aiden Nolan, is that the Polish? Oh, God, good Lord, I'm going to get crucified in the comments. So maybe we do go for Gavin Spooner or Matteo Heicht. Another German. They're both 6'3". They're both 19. They both are left-handed catches. So, guess, yeah, it doesn't really matter. But yeah, I think maybe instead of Aiden Nolan, we go with one of these guys. Because we're going to pick up 3 medium elite defensemen anyways. At least I'm going to try to. So, I don't need Aiden Nolan, who is at 62, when I can pick up 3 guys at from 96 to 108. So, let's go with a goalie here. Move up a couple spots to... I want Gavin Spooner, I think, yeah. Because Gavin Spooner, actually, they're the same height, they're the same everything. Whoa. Actually, if you look at their stats, Matteo Height is actually better, way better. B- reflexes, B- athletic. Whereas Gavin Spooner is D reflexes, C athletic. And then D- puck control versus D puck control. So Matteo Height is actually better in every single category. Yeah, every single category Matteo Height is better. So we're going to get Matteo Height, actually. Obviously, I don't blame Fresh. He couldn't see which goalie was better or not. That's actually on me for not showing you guys. So let's move up to maybe 57 and see if they want to trade that pick. So we're at 39 right now. So it's 49. That would be 59, 58, 57. So we'll go to 56 perhaps with Vancouver and see if they want to trade this pick. All right, boys. So we're going to trade Nashville our second and Stefan Lundmark. I think this might go through here. Can we get a pick with it actually as well? I would love to get a pick as well here. I'd love to get 90, but that's obviously not going to happen. Can we get a 7th next year? I just want to recoup some picks here and see what they say to this. This probably won't go through, but I just want to check rejected. Okay, what about just straight up? What do you say? Rejected. Wow, a bit off. Okay, just a bit. So we'll just have to send them somebody else who matches their block, but who doesn't have a bunch of trade value. Who could that be? Yeah, because all these guys now have value here. Matt's Dahl going to be on the roster. Yeah. So let me just go to all skaters then and look at some guys with no value. Let's give them Torgerson, 26-year-old, and see if this goes through then instead. Torgerson, 73 overall. I mean, this is really nothing, right? This is just an AHL player. He was drafted by Winnipeg, right? So it's kind of bittersweet. Second in the second round as well, but really hasn't grown into anything. What do you say to that? Vancouver trade accepted. There you go. They just wanted a couple more bodies down there for their AHL roster. Okay. So we swap seconds with Vancouver. And now we get the 58th overall selection, which should be good enough to draft one of these 2 goalies here. Yeah, none of them have went so far. So now we have our pick of the litter, if you will. We can go Gavin Spooner, but I'm wanting to get Mateo Hike because he has better everything. He has B minus reflexes to Gavin Spooner's D. He has D puck control to Gavin Spooner's D minus, and he has B minus athletic to Gavin Spooner's C. So in every category, Mateo Hike is better. And those are all 4-bar scouted, right? Yeah, those are all 4-bar scouted. He has good glove hand, good angles, and good lateral movement with no weaknesses. He's 6'3", he's 19 years old. He's going to be medium elite, and he's ready in 4 years. So, Mateo Hike, what do you say, Bello? You are 6'3", 60 overall, medium elite. Usually these guys are like 48 overall, 50 overall. Like, let's see what Gavin Spooner was here. Gavin Spooner was 52 overall. Yeah, so we're 8 overall higher, and we're all the same age. So that's nice to see. Height in 32 games. He was playing in is it a B league or a B plus league? He had 14 wins, 12 losses, 1 shutout, 902 save percentage, 2.88 goals against average. A huge increase from last year where he played, 25% or 75% less games and 868 save percentage, 3.88 compared to this year 902, 208 or 288. Sorry. So I like seeing that he's improving. 60 overall, he'll be in the system for a couple of years, and then he can be, thrown into the AHL, grow hopefully, and hopefully we find ourselves a good long-term goalie to help out Connor Hellebuck there in the future when he's, when Hellebuck is going to be, oh my gosh, he's going to be like 38 years old, 75 overall, getting paid $8.5 million, but what are you going to do? So our next pick is 96, and we can just instantly pick up Gale Crabbe if he's there. But I want to make sure we get him, so I'm going to move up like 2 spots or so, just to make sure that we definitely get him. So we're going to trade with the New York Islanders here, the team that we faced in the Stanley Cup Finals, just to see. Could I just do this straight up? Do I really have to send you? Yeah, I probably do have to send you something else. The team we faced in the Stanley Cup Finals, we're going to do a deal with them. Just because, we kind of have to right now. Salamson, 74 overall, but 23 years old. He can still grow a little bit, but probably not to his potential. He was also a second-round pick. A lot of these second-round picks for the Winnipeg Jets not growing at all. Ethan Del Mastro, was he a first? No, he was a 4th. Wow. Okay, and then so the guys who are 4th-round pick and undrafted have grown way more than Salmonson and these other guys who were second-round picks that I literally forget about now. But I just want to show you guys our goaltending situation because we have 2 medium elites in the system. And we now have 3 medium elites, we now have 2 medium elites in the system. We have Magnus Helmersson. Remember, I think his name's Mikael Helmersson. Sorry, but 2nd-round pick as well, 62 overall. This guy was a 2nd-round pick, 58th overall. So kind of cool to see. Very similar drafted guys. He's 20. This one's 19. 7 overall difference. Yeah, so that's what our system of goalies looks like. And then, okay, let me get these. Let me try to see. I just want to throw something in for this pick right now. Okay, we'll go with these AHL top 2 type guy, Golchich. What do you say? What do you say to this? There you go, accepted. Okay, yeah. So we now can pick up that medium elite defenseman. So let's simulate to that pick. And should I show you guys the rest of the round? No, it's fine. Let's simulate to pick 93. Where he's not gone. Medium starter goes, low top 4 defense, these types of guys, medium top 9 forwards. Really, yeah, it's not a crazy deep draft class, but there is a few medium elite guys. Oh, we'll show you Aiden, what's his name? Aiden something. Okay, here's Magnus Bergfors, 66 overall, 6'5". Yep, he's definitely a good player, but I still like Stefan Kreitzer. I still think that Stefan Kreitzer is going to be a decent player for us. A third pairing defenseman, maybe who can play some second pairing time as well. We picked up Height and Stefan Kreitzer in this draft. Here's Aiden Nolan, the medium elite defensive defenseman. Yeah, he's going to be horrible right now. He's got 1 star everywhere or half a star, so not too worried about him for now. But in the future, maybe if we remember about Carolina, we can look at Aiden Nolan compared to our guys who we're going to pick up right now. There's one guy right here, Gale Crabbe from the WHL, the Prince Albert Raiders, so staying in the Western Canada. Shoot pinch, potentially a defenseman. My thought is actually, since he has shoot pinch, my thought is that he's a 2-way defenseman. but he took 22 penalty minutes. He only had, if he's a two-way defenseman, 1 point is pretty rough for a C-minus league, so maybe he is defensive defenseman. But let's see, Gale Crabbe with the 93rd overall selection. We select from the Prince Albert Raiders of the WHL, Gale Crabbe, who's a defensive defenseman, 49 overall, so very similar to Aiden Nolan. Left-handed instead of, yeah, he's left-handed though. I'm not sure if Aiden Nolan was right-handed. I would like to check that out. So bear with me. And no, Aiden Nolan was left-handed, but he could play the right side. That's what it was, of course. So nothing too bad to worry about there. Pick 128, but we need to move up for some of these other guys here. Pick 128, we have to move up. Do we get both of these guys or just one? Maybe we just get Brody DeMarchi. Because getting all the medium elites, I feel kind of bad, you know? I feel like I'm sort of cheating the system because I know things that the other GMs don't know. But picking up 2 medium elite guys is not the end of the world. Shoot pinch, they're both shoot pinch. Takes winning seriously, nothing to report. I would say... Man, I don't know. They're pretty similar guys. But this one's 17, so I want the 17-year-old. Maybe we... I know in theory we should pick up Jesper Lindstrom, but when does it happen in the NHL where one team picks up like 4 guys in the draft who are all get to, you know, elite potential or all make the NHL, right? It doesn't happen too often. Obviously, this is a video game. We can only make it so realistic. But I also not sure if we have the value to move up for both of these spots as well. On top of the realism aspect, I'm not entirely sure if we have all the value to move up. So let's try to trade for basically a pick right now, pretty much. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we have to trade with the Islanders once again, it feels like. We trade back for our pick that we just made. 101. Let's see. Maybe a 4th will have less value, and that's 97. Okay, I'd be comfortable with 97. Or 98. 98's a little... No, we'll go 97. Pick 97. We'll trade with Arizona. Boys, we're also going to move... So we're going to trade up for the 97th pick. We're going to move... Anton Johansson, a 2020 5th-round pick, offensive defenseman, but he just hasn't grown. So he's going to move for this 4th. What do you say, Arizona? Accept that deal. There you go. Have a blast, Arizona, with those picks. And we'll go now for 97th overall. We should be able to pick up the man that we want here. Yes, we are. Brody DeMarchi, 5 years away. Shoot pinch. He's probably going to be 40. Here, I'm going to guess 51 overall for Brody. 49 overall. Okay. So basically the same overall as the other guy. Right now he's going to be horrible. Half star everywhere with 1-star shooting. Next pick is at 160. But I actually, again, I know I'm doing a lot of trades right here, but I want to trade up for... nothing crazy, but I just want to trade up like 2 spots because we're going to leave out Jesper Lindstrom for somebody else to pick up. But around 160, there is a sniper, a Canadian sniper. I forget what his name is. But where is he? Right here. Oh, I thought he was. Yeah, 161, sorry. Serge Gamache from, or Serge Gamache. I'm not sure how to say it, but he's the French Canadian from the QMJHL. So I want to trade up just a couple of spots here, just to like 59, 60, something like that. And just see what these other people are saying about it. All right, so to trade up for Serge, we are going to get rid of Tony Nato here. And he was drafted 5th overall by the Toronto Maple Leafs. I know he did play some NHL time like in the real world, I think anyways. Yeah, he played in 22, 23 for 5 games. Other than that, he played 77 games. Yeah, he's been a decent player. He's played a couple of games here for Winnipeg, but we're going to trade him for a 4th, 5th-round pick, basically. We'll see you out on the ice, New York. And that deal is now done. We will now sim to pick 58, where we can select Serge from the QMJHL. A sniper with, does he have A shooting? No, C shooting. What am I saying? I thought he had like really good shooting. 3 years away though. Only 3 years away. Medium top 6 at 161. I pick 158. Only 3 years away. This could be like a 2nd-round selection for us. And yeah, this literally could be a 2nd-round pick. That's crazy. It's crazy value right there. But he doesn't have great shooting for a sniper, which is kind of disappointing. His shooting is 1 star. His senses is 2.5 stars. But remember, he's still young. He's 63 overall. He's 19. Actually, he's probably just be trade bait, to be honest. And then our last pick. Let's see if I can... No. We'll just pick up the last pick here. Round 7. We don't have anybody else we have to go after. Maybe we should have... We'll look at where Stefan Lundqvist went. But no, we just have to pick up Alex Hatcher from Switzerland, 5 years away, low elite, perhaps a two-way defender, 6'4", right-handed defenseman as well. Welcome to the team, Alex Hatcher. You are 48 overall. Let me just see if I can find Stefan Lidstrom. Was that his name? Lindstrom? Stefan Lindstrom? He would be here somewhere. Stefan Lindstrom. Or what? It wasn't Stefan. Oh my gosh. It was Jesper Lindstrom. Was I saying Stefan this whole time? But yeah, defensive defenseman, 54 overall actually. So wow, he was the best. He was the best overall. But he's also, remember, he's also 2 years older than Brody. No, 3 years older than Brody. Wow. So Brody is 5 overall less, but he's 3 years younger. So keep that in mind, boys. And that's going to do it for our draft this year. A pretty good draft considering the fact that we didn't have a first. We get rid of Trevor Moore, who helped us win a Stanley Cup, but it's for the salary cap purposes. We make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 selections, picking up Stefan Kreitzer, Haidt, the goalie in the second round, who is like 60 overall, Gail Crabb, Brody DeMarchi, Serge Gamech, and then Alex Hatchner. I don't remember what his name was. I'm sorry, Hatcher. Our 7th round pickup with a bunch of elite players. And what does Zach Werenski say? Remember, we asked Zach Werenski if he wanted to extend with us for 3 years at 7.8 mil. What do you say, Zach? Okay, the scouts are expiring. Okay, start of the re-sign phase. Zach, easy decision. Wow, so for 3 years, we get Zach Werenski at $7.8 million. I will gladly take that. All right, so now looking at the re-sign phase, let's view these contracts here and see who wants what. Oh, I forgot to trade Roman Josi. Of course I did. Well, we'll have to let him walk for nothing. Yeah, I mean, 8.9 mil, I can't sign that. But we have $20 million of extension. Finally, we have money to play with. And wow, Josh Morrissey still wants $14 million. I really thought after the offseason it would change. Oh my God. And he doesn't want to come back. That's crazy. Well, we can't lose our captain, Josh Morrissey. That's a crazy contract. So maybe we'll do a 1-year deal for Josh Morrissey, see if he comes down to earth. For JBD, I mean, he was a great second pair defenseman for us. I think he'll probably stay around the second pair. Despite being an 80 overall, if he can get us, if he can play 22 games, scoring once every 3 games, and being a plus 21, I mean, I'd be insane not to re-sign him. Like, forget the overall for a second. Like, just look at the numbers. If you had a defenseman you traded for at the trade deadline who scored 7 points in 22 games and was a plus 21 on your team in 22 games, when your defenseman previously was like, the defenseman he was paired with was minus something, I mean, you got to sign that man to an extension. And if that guy only wants $2 million, $2.5 million, dude, that's a no-brainer in my opinion. So let's get him for 2 years. Not go too crazy, but 2 years at 2.75 mil. What do you say to that, JBD? We have the money to spend for you. And then Mats Dahl, we will also sign to a contract. And Mats Dahl, his entry-level deal, let's just stay at whatever, just stay at 1 mil. Actually, no, the money could actually be a thing here. So 0.95 mil for Mats Dahl. Left-handed defenseman, he's going to be playing NHL time with us. Low elite, defensive defenseman. Look at those defensive categories there. He could play first-line penalty kill time probably, but he has horrible skating. He has bad puck skills. He has okay senses. He's decent physical. How is this guy almost 80 overall? I don't understand. He's got great defense. His defensive awareness boosts him so much. I'm not sure if he's actually ready for the NHL. Looking at his stats a little closer, but he was a first-round pickup in 2026, 2 years ago. So we'll see if he can do anything for us. But yeah, Josh Morrissey, that is a crazy ask. Logan Hutsko wants about $1 million. Maybe we can do that for Logan Hutsko. Sniper, depth guy. Yeah, we can do like 1 year. Let's do 1 year 950. 1 year 950 on a one-way deal. You'd be depth for us. I'll take that. Josh Morrissey now. I can't believe he wants so much money. Do we go 1 year Josh Morrissey or 1 year for $14 million for Josh Morrissey? I mean, he's not scoring that much. Like, he's not like Cale Makar getting 100 points. He's getting 60, He got 34 in year 1, but he got injured. 73, 64, 62, 69. He's a 60-point guy. He's a 60-point guy. He's not a 90-point defenseman. He's not even an 80-point defenseman. He's not even really a 70-point defenseman. Only that year with Chris Tanev, that legendary year with Chris Tanev. Oh my gosh, that was crazy. But he's a 60-point guy, not 70. Not 80, not 90. How is he asking for $14 million, EA? This is craziness. Maybe we only do 1 year at 14 mil. And then see if his ass comes down over the offseason, you know? On January 1st, we check and he wants $12 million instead of 14 because he's not playing at a point per game pace, you know? Maybe we do that. And he's only 33. He's only going to decline. 2-year deal maybe, but 1 year we can save the most money. What is 85%? If he takes 85% of $14 million for 1 year, I will do that for sure. 85% is $12 million. Now looking at that number, that's a lot more digestible than 14 million. But I don't think he's taking $12 million for 1 year. I don't think he's taking $12 million for 1 year if he's asking for 14. We're changing the value, we're changing the years he wants and the money. So if he takes this, great. I will happily take that. But Roman Josi, thank you for your time here, Roman. But, I'd almost be wanting to sign Roman Josi more than Josh Morrissey. But we have to do right by Josh Morrissey. Roman Josi, thank you so much for your time here. 1 year with us. He had 35 points in 55 games, but he was a plus 13, when he was minus 18, minus 4. Then he goes in plus 5 in year 1. But plus 13, 35 points in 55 games, on pace for maybe 60 or so, maybe 50s, mid 50s, something like around year number 1 pace. And then he got us a Stanley Cup, right? He helped win a Stanley Cup when he hadn't been to the playoffs in 6 years. So hopefully we rejuvenated his love for hockey a little bit here, and we're going to wish him all the best in free agency, but we do not have the money to sign him. So we love you, Roman Josi, but have fun in free agency, my friend. Ethan Del Mastro wants... Okay, he actually does want a 2-way. I thought he was going to want a big boy contract. Dimitri Kuzmin probably wants a big boy contract, huh? Yeah, you want a big boy contract. Okay, well, I'm going to just qualify you for now. And then all these other guys I'll do on my own. All right, guys, it's also time for Vyacheslav Koryaluk to get his contract. He was a 2026 6th-round draft pick, 2-way forward. He's a low top 6 forward, 65 overall. Nothing crazy by any means, but we will definitely sign him to his AHL deal. Why not? He's going to be playing in the AHL for us. And then also Thomas Ekman-Larsson. This guy was almost in a crazy trade for Alexander Texier. Instead, we decided to hold on to him, trade for Trevor Moore. In the SHL this year, he had 12 points in 46 games, or sorry, last year, I suppose now. 12 points in 46 games. No faceoffs taken. He's a right winger who's left-handed. Yeah, he'll play some AHL time, I suppose, but again, this is a guy that is kind of on thin ice here. Low elite player, 20 years old. I need to see some growth this year. Maybe hopefully get up to 65 overall. Maybe that's wishing for a little bit too much, but yeah, these are the offers we're going to send out. Any goalies expiring? Yes, there are some. So we'll get this medium elite goalie in the system. Hopefully he can be our AHL starter. And Mikhail Helmerson. Low backup, DiVincenzo. I mean, you want a 2-year, 2-way deal, but we'll might as well pick up Salmon in here. Actually, we want to make sure that Helmerson is not playing above his pay grade. Yeah, so let's get a good goalie. Let's get Salmon in. Milic as well is decent, 5th round. Salmon undrafted. So DiVincenzo's the odd man out, obviously. So maybe we can trade him for a 7th round pick or something. Let's just qualify him. Salmon in 1-way, 800K, sure, come back. And then Milic, 2 years, 800K, come back. We got 5 goalies in the system now, so that works well for me. What does everybody say? Let's advance 1 day. Oh my gosh. Wow. Josh Morrissey extends for $12 million for 1 year. That's a huge pickup. That is huge, boys. I really thought he wasn't going to do it, but that's massive. Wow, okay. Bernard Docker's on board. Salmonen. Is everybody on? Everybody on? Oh my gosh. What an easy... what am I trying to say? What an easy resign phase. Usually, I'm sitting here bashing my head against the wall for 50 minutes trying to get all these guys to resign. Josh Morrissey, 1 year, 12 mil. On January 1st, we're going to try to get him for less than 12 mil. That's our goal, right? Brock Besser has 1 more year. We can see what his extension would be. Jonas Brodin has 1 more year. So Brodin and Josh Morrissey for 1 more year, they're going to be top pair. Cole Perfetti is still here. Mark Scheifele he's going to drop in overall, boys. Don't be fooled by it. He's going to drop. Gabriel Velarde is here. Chaz Lucius is here. We can also see what his extension would be. Phil Dano, Ville Hinola, Brad Lambert. Yeah, the whole team is on board. The entire team is on board, boys. How many forwards do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then Melvin Barker is 12. And then we just have a 13th guy, and, Elliot Patrick has not grown, I feel like, which is disappointing. Maybe I should sign him and put him in the AHL. But he's only 19. I don't know if he can play in the AHL, but let me know about that. Should we sign Elliot Patrick and throw him in the AHL system? Other than that, I have some AHL players down there. Defensively, we have 6 defensemen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Beautiful, with Ethan Delmastro being the 7th D. Dimitri Kuzmin, kind of the odd man out. Maybe he can lead the AHL team. But yeah, that's what that looks like. So that's kind of cool. And then goalies, we have Hellebuck, Greaves, Salmon, and Milic, who are like the kind of third goalies. And then Mikael Helmerson, who's going to be the medium elite. So we have the entire roster filled up. What could we use? I mean, we have a lot of 86, 85 type guys. Maybe we could use some depth, like maybe we could use, like a 79, 78, somebody with more experience who can slot in on that third line in case Melvin Barker doesn't perform well. But look at this, Melvin Barker 5-star shooting. I think he's going to be a good player. I just need to get him to grow a little bit. Need his overall to get up into the 80s, where like his defense is respectable instead of having 77 shot blocking. But he's not very physical. He's only 5'10", right? So we get him on the power play and see what he can do for us. Pending free agents, don't really have to look at that. Let's just get to the re-sign phase, boys. Or sorry, let's get the free agency. Oh no, I have to do scouts, of course. All right, so scouting is done and all that stuff. Let's simulate 2 free agency. All these guys will start signing on. And let's see if we get any growth over the offseason, if anybody declines, who is available in free agency, because I would like to get myself a dude who can play. Okay, yeah, you send the qualifying offer, sure. I would like to get myself somebody who can play third line time, but who is not mad at playing fourth line time, like kind of an older guy. Maybe like Jamie Benn, somebody. I'm thinking about somebody like that. A big body who can play some third or fourth line time, who's a bit older, who wouldn't really mind just slotting in on a team that's looking for a run. Here, Jake DeBrusk is still asking for $5 million, despite the fact that he didn't play a single time, a single game, or a single second on the ice. That's crazy. Like, if that was me, I'd be asking for league minimum, Tyler Seguin, here's exactly the kind of guy I'm looking for. Tyler Seguin, he can play center, he can play the wing, still has decent skating. Obviously, he will drop over the offseason. That's fine. 84 overall. We can pick him up to play a third line time. He can maybe even play fourth line time as a center down there with, Phil Dano, maybe the wing. He can play power play time for us as well, help the young guys out, teach them the system. I think a guy like Tyler Seguin is exactly who I'm looking for. Anybody else, though, just for, because he can also get points, right? He can help out the simulation. Thomas Tatar, kind of same kind of a thing, but he's a little bit worse. Oh my gosh, we can bring Adam Lowry back. We can bring back our captain. We had to beat him out in the Stanley Cup Finals last year, but we can bring him back. Oh man, maybe I should bring him back on a 1-year deal. Wait, is that disrespectful though? I know we traded him, and now we're just gonna bring him back. Yeah, come back to us, come back. Yeah, maybe that is a little disrespectful. I don't want to be disrespectful to the guy. He helped us out so much. Maybe it is. My bad. I don't want to be disrespectful. I love Adam Lowry. Of course, it was a move that we didn't want to make. I don't even remember what it was, to be honest. Taylor Hall, also a guy that we can look at. Yeah, Hall could be good, but I think I'm gonna go with Tyler Seguin. I think Tyler Seguin is really speaking to me right now. He's a guy, he can play third line center, or he can play the third line right wing. We could have Brad Lambert in the center, Melvin Barker on the left. So Tyler Seguin is dishing that puck to Melvin Barker, and then we can even have them on the power play together to really develop that chemistry. I'm down for it. 1 year, let's do 3. I want to make sure that I get him. Let's do 3.75 mil. 1 year, 3.75 mil for Tyler Seguin. What do you say, big boy? We can then have $2 million of cap space. Goalies, oh my God, Vasilevsky. Vasilevsky only wants 7.6 mil? Dude, if I had the cap space, I would be so down to sign Vasilevsky for 4 years at 7.6 mil. I mean, you probably have to pay him 8 mil because of free agency, but that would be crazy. Anybody fun here? Anybody cool? We do have our 2 goalies. I'm just kind of looking. Maybe the AHL team could get this guy Guzda, Mac Guzda, undrafted player for the AHL roster to be really good. Maybe. Speaking of, are there any like potential guys? Medium. There's a medium elite goalie. Oh my, is he RFA? No, he's a UFA. Medium elite goalie RFA or UFA. I'm throwing my bucket in the hat, bro. I am throwing my bucket in that hat. I'll give him his two-way max deal. Yeah, 1 mil. Sure. There you go. Have it. That's crazy. Okay. And then let's look at defensemen. Any potential players? There's a medium elite. No, that's Simon Edmondson. There's a low elite defenseman here who has no offers. Yeah. Yeah, sign me up. 19 years old defensive defenseman. Yeah. 60 overall. Okay. I'm putting my name in the hat once again. You get a max two-way deal for 3 years. Yeah, there you go. Anybody like now Carson Lambos is here. Carson Lambos, first round pick in 2021 by Minnesota. Not too interested in Carson Lambos. Does he want a two-way deal? Yeah, he does want a 2-year, two-way deal. So maybe this guy could be decent depth. Let's get him. He can be a first-line pair in the AHL. Depth as well for us if we want. Everybody else not crazy potential. Forwards now. Do we have any hats to throw our name into? Doesn't really look like it, no. Okay. Fair enough here. Yeah, not really loving anything I'm seeing down here. Okay, cool. So that's pretty much gonna do it for free agency. We picked up Tyler Seguin. Let's look at the offers that we've made. We've gone ahead and approached Tyler Seguin, Carson Lambos, Garalathi, who's a defenseman, low elite defenseman, and then a medium elite goaltender, Lander, Thomas Lander. All right, a lot of moves that we just did. I was thinking about Adam Lowry, of course, but you know, that's kind of maybe it was an. I like to think that it was. Oh my gosh, this is not that much of a blockbuster. Lehkonen goes to Montreal. Nashville picks up Neil Pionk in a third, so they're replacing Roman Josi essentially with Neil Pionk. Lehkonen goes to Montreal. Well, speaking of, let's see how much Roman Josi is asking for in free agency here. Roman Josi, he's asking for 9.6, so he was giving us a big discount. He was asking for 8.9 pretty much with us. Here he's asking for 9.675. He's got 5-star defense, 4.5-star shooting, 4.5-star census, 4-star puck skills, 3-star physical, 4-star skating. I mean, yeah, the guy can still play. He can still play at the highest of levels. So 1 year, 10 mil for Roman Josi. I probably wouldn't pay it myself, obviously, because I got rid of him. But I'm sure there are some teams out there that would want to. Thomas Lander, the medium elite goalie. I appreciate your interest, but I've decided to go with another team at this time. That's fair enough. I mean, we have 2 medium elite goalies in the system anyways, so I'm not worried about it. Tero Karlathi, I believe this is the low elite left-handed defenseman, signs on board with us. Tyler Seguin signs on board with us, and Carson Lambos also signs on board. So the team now, I mean, we're basically going to look the same going into next year. Oh, we can also look at Brock Besser extension. He wants the extension. He wants only 6.7. That's a pretty good deal for Brock Besser. Let me know what you guys think about that. 6.775 for 3 years, essentially. But this is the roster now. Look at forwards. We've got Connor, Besser, Perfetti, maybe. Ehlers, Lucius, Velarde, perhaps. Scheifele. Well, but Scheifele went up to an 87. What is going on here? If Scheifele stays around, 86, 87, that would be huge, but he probably won't. But anyways, Scheifele, probably Lambert, Melvin Barker, and then like Seguin, Dano, Hutsko, or Logan O'Connor, or whatever. We have enough, definitely have enough people, and we have injury people. Defensemen now, Morrissey and Brodin, Werenski and JBD, Hinola and Dahl. And Hinola wants a contract as well. How much do you want? Cheap? Not that cheap. Ville Hinola, you've been a 4th pairing defenseman your entire career. You've been okay. Plus 27. Your best year was year 1 with Artemi Kniazev. Then plus 19, then minus 3, plus 14. You were minus 14 this year. Ville, are you talking yourself out of a job? Perhaps, especially with Mats Dahl on the left-hand side, who might be moving you out. We can get another right-handed defenseman to play with Mats Dahl instead of having Ville Hinola. I mean, I'm not saying I'm going to do it, but I definitely could look at it for sure. And Dmitry Kuzmin still wants a one-way deal. Hang on 1 second, boys. All right, boys, with all that out of the way, let's simulate to the next season. And, yeah, I don't really have anything else to say. We went through the trade block, or sorry, we went through the draft. We went through the re-signs phase, free agency. I mean, I don't really have anything else to do. Let's just go through this off season, and I'll see you boys back in September. Let's train hard. Let's not get complacent. We just won the cup, but I wouldn't be complaining about another one, nor would anybody else in Winnipeg. So let's go ahead and everybody train hard over the off season, and I'll see you guys back here in September. Let's go, boys. Oh, and I signed a bunch of guys to some just two-way deals, just AHL type guys. Alexei Protas, just a power forward guy. Tucker Pullman down here, two-way defenseman, two-way forward, a grinder, or just these kind of guys to fill out the AHL roster down there. And Dmitry Kuzmin has been offered an offer sheet of $1.4 million for 2 years by Florida. Now, Dmitry Kuzmin is not even somebody that I have in my plans, to be honest with you. He played 51 games for us this year, but he only had 10 points. He was a -8. He's very minimal. He's a very, fourth pairing defense or third pairing defenseman, He's got 85 defensive awareness, 85 shot blocking, 85 stick checking, but Carson Lambos, who we picked up he has 95 shot power and 69 accuracy. Good Lord. But Carson Lambos, we picked up in free agency. He's going to be able to fill in the depth defenseman role for $800K. So Dmitry Kuzmin, I appreciate your time here in Winnipeg. You got your name on the cup, but I will not be, talking or accepting that offer sheet. I will not be matching the offer sheet instead. Do I get any compensation? No, I do not receive any compensation for the player. Fair enough. Have fun in Florida, Dmitry Kuzmin. It's not even a Western Conference team doing it either, so I'm more than happy with our defensive core that we have established here over free agency. I think that we are in a good place. We're coming into the new year now, and let's see the captains, make sure that everything is still good. Mark Scheifele, Kyle Connor, and Josh Morrissey. Yes, we're still looking good over there. And let's go now to edit lines and see what the AI has cooked up for us. So we have Mark Scheifele, who is still an 86 overall now. Wow, that's big news. Gabriel Velarde jumped up to 85. Logan O'Connor dropped to 79. That is not good. So Chaz Lucius, we do have our lines obviously brought to us by Alexander in the comments, but now Mark Scheifele is an 86 overall at 35 years old. I'm sure he will drop throughout the season, of course, but this is a guy who can play. This is a guy who can contribute to offense right now. So maybe we do something like this, where we get Chaz Lucius up there with Scheifele and Ehlers. We go with Phil Danault on the fourth line with Logan O'Connor. And then we have Gabriel Velarde playing center, or should Tyler Seguin should play center. Seguin should play center with Velarde on the right. And then Melvin... Oh, we also have Brad Lambert, of course, that we are forgetting about. So Tyler Seguin will actually play fourth line time, I suppose. And then... Mats Dahl is now an 80 overall. Okay, hang on. Let me just do one thing at a time here, boys. Let's go to roster moves. Let's bring Melvin Barker out. I think it's his time. His time to shine. Where is he? Melvin... Wait, where is he? What the heck? Am I... Oh, here he is. 79 overall. Wow, he actually grew. So 79 overall. Just best lines in the AHL for now. He has grown to a 79 overall. That is huge news. So he can definitely play some third line time for us. He's good on the He's best on the fourth line though. He's balanced block. Yikes. So what does he get on the second pair? He does get a +1, but he will stay third line for us. He's listed as a depth defenseman. He's going to be playing third line time and second line power play time this season for sure. So let's do that. Let's have you take the draw. We'll put Melvin. Good Lord, that's always the scratch players. Oh my gosh. Melvin will play here. Sniper. Yep, we'll get him in the lineup for sure. But then we don't have a defenseman on this line, which is a little bit concerning. We have Josh Morrissey here, so let's get Zach Werenski. I want Chaz Lucius there. Velarde will just play. I guess Velarde will just have that even strength time. Okay, looking good. +3. This is a -3, unfortunately. But what are you gonna do? I can't really change that. Even strength now. Let's make sure that our lines are looking good. Hang on. So Alexander's comment was made in mind with the assumption that Trevor Moore was staying. I did trade out Trevor Moore though, so we're going with Kyle Connor, Cole Perfetti, and Brock Besser. Second line of Ehlers with maybe I want to throw Lucius, but Scheifele's at an 86. It's fine. I mean, Scheifele. No, Lucius should play here because he has better faceoffs. Yeah. So Ehlers, Lucius, Scheifele. Third line now of Melvin, Barker, Brad Lambert, and Gabriel Velarde. And then a fourth line of Tyler Seguin, Phil Danault, and Logan O'Connor. I would like somebody else instead of Logan O'Connor, though, who has dropped to a 79 overall. So maybe we do go Logan Hutsko instead. Logan Hutsko. Also, I don't even know if I'm saying his name right, to be honest. I just saw how it was pronounced and just kind of said it that way. Or we could go with Alexei Protas, of power forward, 77 faceoffs. He would not be playing center, but he's left-handed as well, so we can get him on his natural side. So Protas could go in there for sure. And then defensively, we're going to have these lines are not going to look like this. They're going to be like this. We will go Jonas Brodin with Josh Morrissey, Zach Werenski with Jacob Bernard-Docker, and then, of course, the new boy, Mats Dahl, -3, with Ville Heinola. Mats Dahl does not fit this coach whatsoever. Yikes, that is rough. That is pretty rough. What if he plays first line? If he plays first line, he gets a +2. But no. He'll play third line time for us right now, but he will play what is he? He's a two-way defender, right? He's a defensive defenseman, of course. So he'll play first line penalty kill. I'll get Mats Dahl out there, first line penalty kill. And of course I can't actually click on him. Classic EA Sports glitch. Okay, so Mats Dahl will play first line penalty kill and all this other stuff. I'll just have you guys take a look at these lines. Melvin Barker playing on the penalty kill. I'm not sure about that. Yeah, that's not going to happen. We could go Cole Perfetti here. I was just sorting by defense. So Cole Perfetti has great defense. He could definitely play for us there. And then third line, we'll have to get Cole Perfetti out of here now. And throw in, I think Kyle Connor also has good defense. He's got 4-star defense, I'm pretty sure. And yes, he does, 4-star defense. So we'll take that. The second line looks decent. First line, or third line, sorry, I just got to switch these guys around, make sure JVD's on his natural side. Everybody else looks decent to me for now, at least, with a very preliminary look, obviously. Phil Danault, Chaz Lucius, sure. Tyler Seguin, sure. Nothing crazy here. Okay, extra lines now. Not Mark Scheifele. We're obviously going to go with Cole Perfetti on that first line. We can stay with Zach Werenski for this. 4-on-4, JBDU, sure. Third line, yeah, it looks decent, I suppose. Then 3-on-3, line 1, instead of Mark Scheifele, let's get the young Cole Perfetti. Josh Morrissey will stay there. Mark Scheifele, Nikolai Ehlers, Zach Werenski, sure. Gabriel Velarde, Brock Besser, Jonas Brodin, sure. Extra attackers will be Kyle Connor and Josh Morrissey. Yeah, that works for me. And then shootouts. Let's make sure we have good shooters here on the shootouts. So let's just do it by accuracy, I suppose. 94, 95, 89, 91, 92, 92. Let's get Besser up there instead of Ehlers. I want Melvin Barker to take a shot as well. 85, 87, but he's got good power. Maybe Chaz Lucius can go up there as well. Let's go with Chaz Lucius. Then we will go Mark Scheifele. Then we will go Melvin Barker. Actually, I also want to go with, instead of Scheifele, let's go with Cole Perfetti. Does Cole Perfetti have good shooting number? No, Cole Perfetti's not even a good shooter. So let's stay with Scheifele then. And Melvin Barker, 91, 91, 91, 93. They both got 5 stars. Let's go Melvin Barker instead of Chaz Lucius. Have him always shoot pretty much no matter what. See if he can get some goals that way. Although I suppose it doesn't really matter. So that's going to do it for this one, boys. I'm just going to take a look at the trade blocks. And you guys can put your comments about who you think we should go after. Remember, we do have a little bit of cap space here. We've got about $2 million of cap space to work with. So remember that for your comments. But I don't think this team needs any real additions right now. Look at this. Poor Jake DeBrusk here in Anaheim now, getting paid $5 million to sit on the bench once again. Arizona, they've got Jake Evans. Jake Evans, what? That's like a crazy trade value over there for Jake Evans. All these guys down here. Maybe I should go so you guys can see the potential. Let's go back up a couple. Medium top 4 guys. Medium top 6 forwards. Okay, cool. Carolina now. Prospects. Kovacevic in Chicago. Colorado with prospects. Columbus. Kirill Marchenko. Adam Boqvist. Ivan Barbashev. Adam Lowry is here in Columbus. If we want to bring the captain back for a year, he's here. Dallas with prospects. Detroit with prospects. Edmonton with prospects. Florida with prospects. I mean, yeah, there's not going to be crazy. And of course, as soon as I say that, here is Joel Eriksson Ek, 89 overall, with crazy trade value, 31 years old, on an expiring deal. Braden Shen is also here. Klim Kostin's also here. So Minnesota definitely has the best player available. Oh my God, Arturi Lehkonen goes back to Montreal, and he has a $10.020 million deal. The Finn is getting paid. Holy cow, to be in Montreal. That's insane. Is that? Oh, Kempe. Oh my gosh, I thought that said Rempe. Oh God, it's too early. I thought that said Rempe. That says Kempe. Of course, that makes so much more sense. Oh my gosh, okay. Sens with Sonny Milano, Brendan Gallagher, Trent Frederick, Oscar Lindblom. Okay. Some players in Ottawa, Philadelphia, not really anything. Pittsburgh, nothing. San Jose, prospects. Seattle, prospects. St. Louis, Pavel Buchnevich, Noah Gregor, Mario Ferrero, Matt Grizzlick, Connor Timmins. Okay, so there's some depth defensemen there. Of course, now Tampa has Trevor Moore on the block. Of course they do. Jacob Trouba is also out here. Kyler Yamamoto, Nick Paul, Patrick Kane is only making $1.63 million. Do we want to bring Patrick Kane? See if he can simulate well? No, we have a good team already. Don't need to move anybody for Patrick Kane right now. Vancouver with some depth. Vegas with some depth. Washington, Nick Paton, and Abruzzi. Yeah, I don't know how to say that name. And then we're back to Anaheim. So let me know about that, boys. I did not show you guys Connor Hellebuck in the edit line screen, of course. We were listed as a seller for some reason. I think this team can be a playoff team at least. I mean, we don't have the 90 overalls. We got Kyle Connor, I guess. Goaltending, yikes. Hellebuck dropped to an 82 overall despite winning the cup and having a great run in the cup as well. But yeah, 82 overall, and we've got him for another 2 years at the bare minimum, boys. I'm sticking to that. At the bare minimum, we have Connor Hellebuck for another 2 years. I don't care what you guys say. Usually I take all your thoughts into consideration, and I do all the things that we had. You know, we picked up Stefan Kreitzer at the draft because Fresh said. We did get rid of Trevor Moore and no guys like that, but we definitely always try to do what you guys say. My one caveat in this series is Scheifele and Hellebuck are on this team for the next 2 years, no matter what. Because they have no move clauses in the real world, and the point of the series was to have them on board and kind of deal with the contracts and stuff like that for as long as we possibly can. So Perfetti is going to be first line center now. Scheifele will be relegated to that second line. Perfetti will probably not grow after. He'll probably stay in 86 overall, but 86 overall for a $5.95 million deal is not the end of the world, in my opinion. I guess this is a situation where it probably would have been better to give him a 2-year bridge deal, and when he stopped growing, he maybe asked for less, but you live and you learn, right? So that's going to do it for this episode, boys. I'll do the scouting, and we'll start the regular season in the next one. Remember, new videos come out Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. This one coming out on Saturday, so the next episode will be on Tuesday. Thursday will be Spider-Man. If you want to check it out, great. If you don't, totally understand as well. No worries about that. I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great rest of your day, everybody. Have a great summer, and peace out.